They're restricting the wrong Eyesmon. With BT7 in full swing, we're nearing the point where the next batch of restrictions come into effect. After extensive, almost obsessive testing, I've come to the conclusion they absolutely should have restricted Eyesmon scatter mode rather than regular old Eyesmon. Drawing and discarding cards, or looting to borrow a phrase from Magic the Gathering, is one of the most important forms of card advantage a TCG can have. The consistency of always seeing the cards you need to win is essential for winning, even if you have to trash a few cards in the process. Other TCGs have realized how powerful this effect is, and more often than not, these cards have been restricted or banned for the raw power they provide. Graceful Charge has been banned in Yu-Gi-Oh! For nearly 20 years. Frantic Surge, Faithless Looting, and Smuggler's Copter have all been banned in various Magic formats, and those actually draw you fewer cards than Scatter Mode. Now imagine if any of those spells were on a body where if your opponent doesn't let you loot, it just punches them in the face until they die. That's Eyesmon Scatter Mode. The reasoning for restricting Eyesmon is understandable. Getting free bodies is gross, and that's coming from an Eosmon fanatic. Free bodies that grow with every scatter mode in the trash can get out of hand in multiples, so keeping that to only happening once in a game is alright. Unfortunately, this ignores the terrible truth that scatter mode is far more of a problem overall. Imagine if they restricted scatter mode instead. From just a frequency standpoint, you can get a total of 4 free Eyesmon compared to the 1 with the way things are going to be restricted. However, this is offset by having to actually find the 1 copy of scatter mode in your deck and actually getting it into your trash. Without the consistency provided with the mass card filtering of scatter mode, Eyesmon ends up being a vanilla 6k that will most likely digivolve onto something else, and only occasionally get played for free. Sure, if you find the scatter mode in a reasonable time frame, having 4 free Eyesmon can be scary, but by the time that comes together, your opponent will be doing equally scary things. Another important factor for restricting scatter mode instead of Eyesmon is that scatter mode as an engine is more versatile than the parasitic Eyesmon. Without scatter mode, Eyesmon doesn't really do much, whereas scatter mode can get splashed into any deck that either wants to draw cards or put things in the trash and still be successful. Basically any purple deck can set up a sequence of Demi Miramon, Gabumon BT2, and scatter mode, drawing 2 cards on turn 1, then attack on turn 2, let it die, hopefully, trash 3, draw 2, trash 1, draw 1, trash 1, for a total card draw of 8 extra cards. This can almost set up Lilith Loops, Beelstermon packages, or get Tamers in the trash for Cherubimon, all before your opponents had their second turn. It's natural that any purple deck is going to want Scatter Mode package since purple lives for playing in the trash. But Scatter Mode is so powerful that even non-purple decks can splash it and still get a massive boost. First and foremost, we have the EX1 Machinedramon deck. This has been so close to playable that it's become a challenge akin to the legendary Gordian Knot. While others have tried to unravel it with black packages or Kaiser nails, I'm going to make like Alexander the Great and just cut through the deck with raw card draw. The deck already has methods of looting in Hagurumon and Ultimate Connection, but imagine if we took that purple base from Lilith Loop, ripped out the top end, and replaced it all with Machinedramon pieces. That draw power of 8 extra cards by turn 2 suddenly enables that Machinedramon to come down with a full 5 Digivolution sources way more consistently. Follow that up with a Chaosdramon wiping your opponent's board and it's all but game over. But Machinedramon isn't the only Cyborg-based deck that benefits from Scatter Mode. D-Brigade is Black's premier Rookie Rush strategy, looking to Suicide Bomb Commandramon, chipping away at your opponent's security and then setting up a lethal Darkdramon. Black decks typically aren't your best when it comes to card draw, and often Darkdramon can get stranded in your hand without enough fodder in your trash. Conveniently, Scatter Mode handles both of these issues, and while you do have to hardcast it for memory, that is on par with most Commandramon, so at least the deck is already used to it. You already want most of your Digimon and D-Brigade to die, so splashing the best deletion trigger is a no-brainer. Finally, it wouldn't be a thought experiment without at least attempting an Eosmon show. I've gone on record stating that Analog Youth is tailor-made for Eosmon since it allows you to fill your trash instead of the Digivolving trigger of the level 6 Eosmon. And while the deck already has more than enough ways of digging into more gas, without Analog Youth it doesn't have a ton of ways to manually trash Eosmon. You usually have to bank on having them die checking security or getting flipped in security. But with a hybrid and tamer-heavy format like BT7, that isn't always guaranteed to happen. Swinging Scatter Mode into security turn after turn until it dies can give you a way to trash those level 4 and level 5 Eosmon in your hand that you need to pop a difficult to deal with threat for the level 6 trigger. And just like with D-Brigade, Eosmon's no stranger to hardcasting 4 memory cards, so it's a natural fit with the rest of the deck. Suffice to say, Eyesmon Scatter Mode is definitely the card that should have been restricted, but since it's off the hook, I'm looking forward to abusing the card in nearly every deck that can support it, and as we've demonstrated, that's going to be a lot of decks. It's cheap enough to slot into virtually any deck for the card draw alone, so while it's definitely a staple for purple, I'm interested in seeing how many other decks catch on and start adapting Scatter Mode to improve their consistency and smooth out their draws. This has been Tyler the Fro, and for all of your Digimon thought experiment needs, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because I want to be doing a lot more of these Digimon videos, and every little bit of support helps. Alright, have a great day.